Welcome to the Feminine Wave. Today's episode, we'll be focusing on conscious living, real livelihood. So let's talk about self-care and well-being, women's health, our environment, and our family. Today's guest is Maile Andrus Price. She's the soul chef of Nourishment for Your Soul. Maile has been a holistic nurse and energy healer for over 30 years. She's been cooking and creating for over 55 years and loves the alchemy of blending simple ingredients to create magic with food. She is passionate about sharing the spiritual aspect of all things. She's dedicated to helping women discover what they are truly hungry for so they can feel all of who they are, body, mind, and spirit. Everyone, please let me introduce today's guest, Maile Andrus Price.
Aloha, everyone. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me, Tara.
Oh, and I so love your little flower. I know I always say that because it's just so beautiful. Mm. So I have so many questions, even though I've written some down in my head.
Yeah.
And because I love the idea of feeding your body with food and what that's all about and what that means. And I know you've been doing this for, some time now.
Yeah.
And so maybe just tell a little bit about how you got to this point, meaning what you're doing now, the soul chef, and how food nourishes us.
Right. So I've been cooking for over 55 years and have always loved food and always known that it's more than just a physical thing. And so I've wanted to bring in the spiritual aspect and the sacredness of it, especially into women's lives, because we're usually the ones who cook, the mothers, the wives, the partners. We work full time, we come home, and it's like chaos, right? So I am a retired holistic nurse, but not too long retired. And I talk to my coworkers and they go, "Oh, I don't want to go home and make dinner." And I tell them, "No, no, no. You can make it your Zen time. You turn on some music, get a little wine going if that's your thing. You be present, you look at the food, and you just enjoy what comes to you. I mean, make it a sensual experience, right? Where you smell the basil or the mint or the rosemary." So some of them, they did try it, but of course, everyone's busy. It's a practice thing, right? And even I don't do it every single meal, but I like to do it while I'm cooking just to get present and to make it a connecting experience. You connect to yourself and to source, God, whatever the word is you want to use. And it's not just about physical food, because food is anything that is nourishing that you ingest to help you heal and grow. So that means it's not Cheetos. Cheetos is not food. Processed things are not food, but it also means what you think about, what you see, the environment you surround yourself with, your friends, the thoughts that you think. It's just, that's the whole thing of food. And I find food to be magic because it can feed you physically, but it can also feed your soul. I'm in Oregon right now visiting my daughter, and it's cold. And anytime it's cold and rainy, it's like, this is a soup day, So just the whole process of making the soup and having the house smell so good, and then sitting down to that bowl and feel the warmth going into it, it's just so satisfying. And I can keep talking, Tara. You need to interrupt.
That's okay because I am just mesmerized. But I would like to touch on what you were talking about, making it your Zen time. I mean, is some kind of a ritual or some kind of a mantra or prayer that, you do or you recommended for other people? Or is
Yeah,
it
that's a
just
great
you're in that
question.
space?
Yeah, so I usually, whenever I cook, I gather all my ingredients and I just take not even a minute, really. Sometimes I do a full minute, but I'll just look at my ingredients and think about what I'm going to make. And I give gratitude
Mm,
for what's before me. And I acknowledge that just the fact that there is food in front of me, I see it as acknowledgement that I'm loved by a higher power. Because I didn't make that food. I don't know how to make eggplant grow or lettuce or beans. So yeah, I just take a moment to give gratitude and I slow down and then I look at my ingredients and then I open myself up to messages. Um, and I'd like to maybe riff on that a little bit. Um, so one day I got to the farmer's market and I brought back all of this. I had kale and I had eggplant, and I had cilantro and I had carrots and I had tomatoes, a cornucopia of color. And it was all on my counter and it was like, wow. And I just thought, I just said to them, I said, you guys are beautiful.
mm,
And so they started talking back. I kid you not. So there was this, I picked up this eggplant. It was round, one of the round ones. And it was, I swear I could hear it in my head. I picked her up and she said, I am beautiful. I am round. I am dark. I love my shape. I am confident. I am strong. And just a slightest little, and you should be too. You should follow my example. And then so I picked up the cilantro, and the cilantro had a male energy to it. And he said, yeah, I am strong. I am vibrant. I last a long time. I'm resilient. You can keep me in the fridge for weeks and I will not wilt. And it's like, wow, okay, him or that energy owning itself because all of these things are alive. They are alive. And it's like, wow, okay. And then I had cilantro, Chinese parsley next to me, and she's more delicate. And she said, yeah, I'm not as resilient as
mm,
my cousin here. But you know what? I am delicate and I add a beautiful nuance and flavor. And so I kind of went through each what I had and got a message. And that's kind of fun. Some people might think it's a little woo-woo, but I believe that God, Creator, Spirit, Universe talks to us in a myriad of ways. And if you just open up your heart and say, well, how about what do you have to say to me? You get it. You get all kinds of things. I've gotten so many lessons from cooking.
I love that. Next, I'm well, and the whole thing of that what I'm getting to from your explanation and your sharing is that to be present,
Yeah.
be in the moment,
Yeah.
and when we are, and then we open up,
Mhm.
right, to get the messages. Oh, that's just so beautiful. I'm going to look at cooking a whole different way now. And when I go to the store and shop for my food.
Yes. Yes. And you'll be able to sense, what you can tell by the way you look at it, what's the most fresh, what's the most has the most energy, because you are becoming one with whatever you eat. You're ingesting their energy and it's sustenance for you and the oneness in the food. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like asking what cucumber wants to come home with me.
Yes. Why
Right?
not? I have a friend who does sound bowls and he takes them off to do, healing baths and he'll ask them, who wants to come? And they answer,
Yeah, when we listen,
yes. And
right?
we listen. Yes, that's a
Yeah,
very important part
yeah.
for sure.
So I wanted to, because I looked up some of your stuff and I know that you help women discover what they're truly hungry for.
Mhm.
How do we know what part of us is truly hungry and what are we hungry for?
Great question. I'll answer that with an experience I had not too long ago. I it was a Sunday and it was like I felt hungry. So I looked in my fridge. I didn't see anything exciting. I went to Whole Foods. I went to Safeway. And in the third store, I realized, oh, it's not my body that's hungry. It's my spirit that's hungry. And I think, again, by being present and being familiar with who you are as far as uh, what you sense from your body and your spirit. And it was like, oh, okay. So I went home and I read some inspiring things and I made sure I took a walk in nature. I live close to the beach and that's what I needed. So how can you know? I think it's just by being aware that we are body, mind, and spirit, and that those three aspects of us need to be fed every day. And so you can just ask yourself, okay, well, I fed my body. Have I fed my spirit? Have I fed my mind? That's a good way to do it.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding
Yeah,
the idea of, based on your experience, you know, I I think I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good
right,
physically. And
right.
then to check in and see what other what part of me is hungry, and it might be spirit if I'm not physically hungry. Maybe say that again. Explain that a
Sure,
little more.
sure. So I'll give another example because lots of times when I feel hungry, I just eat physical food. And then I'm satiated, but there's still something that's missing. I feel like there's something missing. So if you eat your meal and you still feel like I'm not quite satisfied, I'm not quite full, I don't feel completely nourished, then that's the time to think, oh, well, when's the last time I connected with something spiritual, whatever word you use, God, universe, or when's the last time I laughed? Because that is for the soul too, right? I love to laugh. I love laughing is so healing. So sometimes I'll look at old Lucy clips and I'll just laugh for a few minutes. And it's releasing. So there's just, yeah, different ways of asking yourself, being present with yourself. What part of me? Just asking, like you said, and then listening and getting the answer.
Right, because I know if I take time to listen, I will get an answer. And
Right.
oftentimes, a lot of us, me included, we're just rush, 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 and
Yeah.
we're not being present, you know,
Yeah.
we're out in front of us, so somewhat.
Yes. And always the to-do list, right? Women are so
Yeah.
famous for always, okay, well, I'm going to do this next. I'm going to do this next. And it's like, no, I'm going to be right here and I'm going to put my energy into this food so that I can again receive it. That's the beauty about it. You put it in and you receive it again. I saw a clip on Instagram. I'm a new Instagram junkie, I guess. I can't remember his name, but he does a food show. He was the producer for I Love Raymond.
Mm.
Anyway, he was at this restaurant and there was the chef there, and she was cooking and she was telling him, this is my mother's recipe. And every time I make it, I think of my mom. And his friend, who's also a chef, told him, you take one bite. I want you to take just one bite and you will feel the love. And so he did. He took one bite and it was like he got emotional and he was so surprised. It's like, I don't know what's happening to me. And the chef who was cooking said, that's the love I put into it. And it really is that powerful. Um, I mean, you can just tell any good restaurant or any friend's home that you've been, you can tell if there's love in it, and it feeds your soul, and it helps carry you out throughout the week or the hour or the day.
So I'm going to ask kind of a left turn question.
Sure.
So, especially if somebody's making our food, say if we're
Mm-hmm.
eating out,
Mm-hmm.
would the I guess I'm not even sure how to ask the question. They're preparing my food. What's their energy?
Mm-hmm.
And is that in the food and how can that affect me? And
Yeah.
can you speak a little to
Sure.
that?
Yeah, it definitely is. And so whenever I go out to eat, I just take a moment, really a few seconds, and I give gratitude and I just ask for a blessing over the food. And if there's anything negative, let that go and let me take in all of the nutrients that are available. It's that simple. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah.
Well, I
But you
would
need
think.
to remember to do it.
Right. Well, and
Yeah.
then too, like, if we're cooking our meal for our family, to be mindful of what we're putting into it, but
Yeah.
then they can do that as well,
Yeah.
in case there's something that doesn't fit for them, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I often invite my friends, whether they are like to cook or not, I invite them to help me if they're coming over for dinner. I said, well, we set our space and I say, hey, let's just talk and put in our the fun that we're having now into this energy. And even if it's just chopping vegetables or, mixing some flour and sugar, that adds to it and it creates a memory, um, and a warmth. Yeah.
Oh, I love how you said it creates a memory because it's this memory of this connection of you two or whoever, together. And I just
Yeah.
love that.
Well, I
Yeah.
come from a long line of great cooks,
Mm.
and so there's one recipe that I make that my grandma used to make and my mom used to make. And so every time I make it, I can't help but be flooded by, oh, I made this with them at this time, and this is what we're talking about. And so the power of food has can transcend death. I mean, you can still feel that love and still carry within you that memory that you had. And that's what really matters, right? You can't, my husband's brother recently passed unexpectedly. So it's helped me to really be more focused on what's important, what really matters. And people have been saying, well, you can't take it with you, right? What can you take with you? You can take memories, laughter, love, enlightenment, knowledge, and well, you could take the memory of food. I hope we can eat in the next life.
Well, and food is such an instrumental way that we connect. We're going into the holiday season. There's families are getting together.
Mhm.
People are doing their part. This person's preparing this person's preparing that,
Right.
and you're absolutely right. The memories is the one thing that we
Yeah.
can keep from someone who's passed. And
Yes.
I'm going to make cream corn, and I still have the recipe in my husband's handwriting, and he passed almost 13 years ago.
Mhm.
And so just seeing his handwriting,
Yes. Yes. There's still
and
energy in there. There's power in it. Yes. Wow.
wow, I never even thought of that. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, sorry.
No apologies.
And it's so true, and you're right, and food is vital.
Yeah. It's vital for our existence. And I have my nephew in particular, he loves um, pizza rolls. And it's like he's living in Japan, so every time he comes to visit, he wants pizza rolls. I'm sorry, I refuse to buy them. I said, you have to buy it yourself because I will not make that for you because it's not food. He's like, doesn't get it. But if you and it makes you feel different. If you eat I should be careful on any brand names, but something that's processed, you're gonna take that in you and you're not gonna feel as vibrant. Right.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more about how you define food. Share a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
So anything, anything, not just physical food, anything that you ingest into who you are, your body, mind, and spirit, that is nourishing to help keep you healthy and vibrant. So, as I said earlier, it's like for me, my home is food. I walk into my home and I go, oh, it's peaceful. I have pictures of everybody up there that it feeds my soul. And so food for my mind is I do as you know, we're doing this technology, right? So learning that or Duolingo or reading something that's really deep, some poetry or literature, it it feeds me and it challenges me to grow. So that's a kind of food. And so just like physical food, you need to come in and ingest it, you also need to have time to digest it,
Mm.
right? You take in beauty or you take in something horrible. You have to digest that out, right? Or something like a sunset, or here right now, there's all these fall colors that I don't get to see in Hawaii. They're just amazing. That feeds me. It fills me up, fills my cup and my holistic cup, my mind, body, and spirit. That
So,
answer.
yeah, so in other words, food is more than food.
It is.
And
Yeah.
then, and when it comes to feeding our bodies with food, we want it to be real food. I knew a gal years ago, if it's not food, don't eat it, which is what you're talking about, the
Right.
Cheetos and the processed
Yes.
foods and
Yes.
all of those.
Yeah.
Um, and um, and then I love how uh, other things that feed me. I mean, when I walk into my home, and being out in the world and what's ever going on out there, and when I come, it's like, ah,
Yes. Yes. That's so important. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think, we talked a little bit about being open when we cook. And it doesn't have to be every time you touch food, but you can just have that intention. And seriously, I've had so many lessons come through while I'm cooking. And I honestly feel like there's little grandmas next to me saying, well, this is like life in this way. So one time I had some garlic and I was putting it through a press. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is me. I am this piece of garlic going through one of life's horrible, hard experiences. And the meat that comes out is the lesson that I am to learn from it. And then I opened up the garlic press and there was all this meat still in there. And so the thought came, well, just like in life, you have to dig all of this out. You have to look at everything. Like if it was divorce, where was my part in that? Really look at it. So I got a knife and I dug out all of the meat. And while I was digging it all out, I thought, what does this knife represent? A therapist, a friend, journaling. It's just a way to cleanse and get all of that meat of the lesson out. Because if you don't, you're going to have to learn it again and again until you get it all. And
yeah.
just stuff like that always just comes to me. And I'm really thankful. And if I can give another example really quick, I was making these croissants, really good, orange croissants. And I was first time making it, and the person who wrote the recipe said, it's going to get sticky, but just keep going. It'll all come together. And it did. It was a mess. And I thought, well, somebody did it before me. And that person said, keep going it, keep kneading it. And it did. It formed a beautiful ball. And it was like, I was so thankful just to have someone, just like in life, like a mentor, somebody out there knew it was going to get better, right? And it was a lesson in persistence and faith and belief. It's like, okay, well, I have no idea how this is all going to come together, but somebody else did it and it does, and it did. So, yeah.
Oh, I love all your stories because I can totally relate, and I'm sure other people can totally relate. And, I know for me, when the universe wants me to learn a lesson, it's like I get situation after situation after situation. I mean, it just comes boom, boom, boom sometimes.
Right,
And it's like, pay attention. I need to learn from this.
right.
And I love about the stickiness with the orange croissant
Mm-hmm.
and, how it's going to be messy and sticky. And that's such a parable of life.
It is. And you think, how am I going to get out of this? But the answer is just keep going. Don't stop. Then
Right.
you
Because then,
will be stuck with the mess. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, in their story about the garlic press, and oh, I could just sit here all day and listen to all your stories.
Well, I have more. There's 5 decades of cooking.
Yeah, I bet, I bet.
Yeah.
So, what's, what's the word? One, not situation, but one, if you could just share with us maybe, one little takeaway or parable, or I know you've shared so much with us already, but if you could just, one more that, and maybe it's a prayer that we say, and I know you've shared one already, but what's
Mhm.
another, little takeaway that you could share with us today? Um,
Um, we also kind of talked about it, but listening to your body and listening to your food and being open. So if you just say that, those three things, I am open, I am grateful, I am opening, I am open, I am listening. I think that provides a space where things can come through because you're setting the intention. Well, I'm saying I'm open, I'm going to listen. Um, and set an intention for fun too, like I did have one coworker, she said, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make this my Zen time and I'm gonna keep the kids in the living room and she said, that was so amazing. She never experienced cooking as a blessing. It was more like a dirty deed you have to do. It's responsibility. And thinking about, okay, how am I going to be nourishing myself and my children? That's a wonderful intention too. Um, so let's see, another parable. What's popping up for me is life is like a bowl of salad.
Ooh, say
Be-
more.
because so I was making this big salad, and I was thinking, okay, the bowl is the world. The
Mm.
lettuce is all of us. Our humanity represents our humanity, and you have different things in there. The cucumbers are stabling. You have feta cheese that's a little spicy or a little sassy. You have garlic that adds some whoa, and tomatoes, which adds color and firmness and all of these different textures. And it's like everybody has their own personality. So, the feta cheese would be reminded me of my friend who's kind of, what's the word? Not bitter, but she is straightforward. You do not have to wonder. And so feta cheese, you have a very strong reaction when you eat it. And then I thought, well, what brings it all together? It's the dressing. And you have to mix the dressing. You have to intently, like if you're doing oil and vinegar, and I love using balsamic vinegar, a real high grade, because it emulsifies it and it gets thick. And then you spread it over and it just brings it all together. The the person or the personality who's a little rough, or the person who's colorful, or the person who's a little shy, like maybe you have some Chinese parsley in there. It just, to me, it's like, wow, it represents the world and how we can all get together. We don't all have to be the same. The differences are what makes it delicious, right? Um, that wasn't really a parable, but that's what popped up.
I love that you brought in balsamic vinegar. My little glands started like,
Oh my gosh, I don't drink, so I can't be a wine snob, but I am a balsamic vinegar
Mm.
snob. And there's all of my vinegars need to be aged at least 18 years because it's so inherently sweet and it's thick, and And that's the importance of good quality. And there you go. It's like you want to have a nice quality life too, so you want to use the best for yourself.
Right. And I don't know if you can speak to this, but you were talking about the senses and or that's what I took away,
Mhm.
because you're smelling something, you're hearing something. And again,
Mhm.
for me, my tongue got involved when you were talking about the balsamic vinegar. I mean, is there
Right.
anything to that? The senses?
Oh, absolutely. I have, if you go on my YouTube channel, I think I have a video on there on how to create a sensual experience, not sexual, sensual experience. And I go through, I have a recipe, it's for my pesto, but I use basil and garlic. And again, I go to the farmer's market and everything is so fresh and alive, and I don't even have to bring it up to me to smell it, but just the smell of basil, it brings up memories, it brings up satisfaction. And then the garlic, the way you cut the garlic determines how it's going to taste. Did you know that? If you
I
sliver garlic,
Yeah. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead. I want to
you
know.
sliver it, or if you crush it, or I mean, it was like, what? It's so profound. Um, so, okay, I kind of lost myself in there. I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, it's all good. Um, so what I do is I was taught by my friend's dad who is Italian, and
Hmm.
I have to assume, they kind of know how to do garlic, not that they
Sure.
aren't from other places.
Yeah.
Um, but you take the knife and you have the garlic, the little, what is that called? The little,
A clove?
thank you,
Yeah.
and you I don't want
Press
to,
it.
you press on it so it kind of releases the juice, and then I would chop it up.
Hmm.
Is
Yes.
that an okay way to do it, I guess?
That's awesome because to me, that's just another message. It's like you're being very mindful of how you're doing it and you're being very intentional. Okay, I'm doing it this way because then the juices are going to come out. This is the way most of the juices come out. And then another thing is like, okay, well, you're going to press it down. That's the same as you. Life gives us pressure. What comes out? Your juices. Well, what are you? What's your juices? Right?
Ooh,
If
I
you're
like
filled with,
that.
yeah, right? If you're filled with love and you get a little pressed down with it, you're just going to bring out more love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I had the memory of my girlfriend's dad.
Yes.
So when I do
Yes.
garlic, I think of him.
Yeah. It's so
Oh,
amazing. Yeah. And another
nice.
thing that came up, and I was using my grandpa's cutting board. It's 100 years old, but I keep it with me and it's not perfect. And it's a little bit, it's not exactly flat. And so I was trying to, again, chop some garlic and it wasn't going all the way through. And it's because the bottom wasn't resisting. You need that resistance on the bottom so that the knife can cut smoothly too. And I thought, okay, so that's another importance of life lessons of hardships, really, or a foundation, having a firm foundation to work against so that you can be cut cleanly or you can learn something clearly. I don't know, it just keeps pouring out. There's so many things, and I just love it.
I love it too. It's like I want to come spend a week with you and we can cook everything and
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
go home with so much knowledge and wisdom and presence and I will have, transmuted all kinds of things from all of the learning.
Well, yeah, and that brings me to another point is that you really can experience transformation through food by by setting the intention and by being open to what can be given to you and how you're going to take it in and see the oneness in that. Um, to me, that just everything is spiritual, but food is so much, is so strongly spiritual for me. And it could be for everybody. I think it can be for everyone. You just got to be
But
open to it.
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like if everybody did this, or even just a majority of people, I mean, how much richer their lives would be, and the people that they touch, how much, I mean, it would create a ripple.
Right. And it's so simple, and we have to eat, right? So it's
Right.
not like you're adding one more thing to your to-do list. It's like, I mean, you can go out to eat, but you mostly cook, right? You have to do that. Well, make it a good experience. Make it, change it from dreary to a delight, instead of a drudgery, make it delightful. It's possible.
Right. Like what you were sharing about like a mom. The kids are
Hmm.
in the other room, and so she's got the kitchen to herself for her
Hmm.
Zen time.
Yes.
I love that, instead
Yes.
of, locking myself in the bathroom. No.
Right. No, or instead of throwing
Right,
it on
right.
the table,
Actually
that's what,
enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then it's good for me,
yes.
right?
It's a
And then
win-win
it's
for everybody.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's one other thing that's popping up. So I did a whole series with Tony Robbins, attended a lot of his seminars, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the person who said it, but and I haven't been able to find it. So maybe whoever's watching, maybe you guys can find it. That if you grow something, that food connects with you, and if you're missing a nutrient, it will grow that nutrient for you. So even if it's just basil, if you take some basil and you put it in your kitchen and you know, give it some energy and some attention and some love, you create a connection and a healing connection. I mean, the power of food. And I've been looking for that person and that quote because I really want to know more about it. And so the people, the farmers that are farming the corn or the workers who are picking, they're all doing their energy, putting their energy. And for that time space, that food is connecting and sussing you out. Okay, what does this person need? That is mind-boggling, right? So
Yeah.
start with basil, or some tea, and let that tea help you, give you what you need.
Oh, wow. I could be here all day and ask you 100 questions, and I'd probably have more. Um, and I do want to talk about, so you have a YouTube channel,
I do.
and you have videos on there you were saying about preparing a meal, or what were you
Yeah,
saying?
it's how to create a sensual experience through cooking. So my YouTube is Nourishment for Your Soul, my YouTube
And I'll
channel.
put it in the message
Oh,
so
okay,
people
thanks.
can link on that. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, and you know what? There's another fun one on there, and it's on Brussels sprouts. And I was so not crazy about Brussels sprouts until I did this recipe. It's a really fun recipe to video to watch because um, you get the Brussels sprouts and you put olive oil on it and you season it and you kind of fluff them up so that the petals will come off and it gets really crunchy. And so I think it's entitled Everything You Never Knew You Always Loved About Brussels Sprouts, or just Google Brussels sprouts. And while I'm videoing, I ended up eating half of that and I started laughing so much because it's like, oh my gosh, this is addicting. I'm so embarrassed, but hey, this is what's going to happen for you too. So fun.
Oh, I love that. Again, I'm going to come visit you and we can cook. I'm serious. I want to figure out how we can make that happen
Do
because
you
that
love
would
to
just
cook?
be amazing.
Do you love to cook?
I love to cook.
Yeah.
Um, and my challenge is now, and maybe you can give me some suggestions. I live on my own,
Hmm.
so I'm just cooking for me.
Hmm.
And sometimes I don't want to do it just because I'm
Yeah.
just cooking for me.
Yeah.
I know there's a lesson in there, and maybe you can shine some light on that.
There is. It's like, and this is a big lesson for me. So please know that when I say this, self-love. It's an opportunity to love yourself. It's just like, okay, I don't really feel like doing it, but because I'm worth it and I love myself, I'm going to do it for me. And I'm going to make it a wonderful experience. And I'm going to feel the love that I have for myself and feel the love that comes through the food and feel the love that comes through the creator who made the food. Self-love, self-worth.
You are so right on there, sister.
Yes,
So right
yes.
on. And it
And
was,
it's like just for me. What do you mean just for me? It's for me. It's for me. What do I want? What do I need? What excites me? Because women are
right.
constantly doing for others, others, others. Me.
Yeah, I deserve, I am worthy, I am
Yes.
loved. And
Yes.
I
Yes.
love myself because,
Yes.
right, I have to love
Yeah.
me before I can love anybody else, theoretically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, wow. So I love everything. I've taken notes, you know, so when I'm going to get out all my ingredients and look at all of them. And I am going to have, I am grateful. I am open. I am
Yeah.
listening,
Yes.
and with my intention
Yeah.
and put that humor in there because I dig the humor, man. Patch Adams was
Yes.
right when it came to humor, right?
Yes. Yes. Love it.
And life is like a bowl of salad. Oh my gosh. It's like, is that not the best thing ever? I just love this. And that's why I was really excited to, have this conversation because my husband was a foodie. I am not. That being said, I appreciate good food.
Yes.
And I don't eat just to eat. First of all, I need to be hungry. But this just puts a whole nother level to it.
Yes. Yes. It goes deep.
It really, really does.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for doing this. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you, Tara.
having this work because, first of all, I've never heard of anybody who does this kind of work. And I mean, I don't know everybody, but
Right. Right.
and I just want to say again for everybody watching, I'm going to put the YouTube channel link in the content of this post so everybody can go see your videos. I cannot wait.
Yeah. And I
And
think there's the 6 recipes, right?
okay,
Yeah, that I think you have. I sent to you that those are some of my favorite recipes that are
okay,
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'll make sure that everybody has access to those.
Thank you,
And
Tara.
oh,
Thank you so
thank you
much for
so
the
much for
opportunity.
sharing.
Oh, it's truly my pleasure. Can you tell? I can talk for hours about food.
Yeah, well, I thank you so much for doing that.
You're very welcome.
All right.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
again.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Tell everyone. Yeah. Bye.
Be sure to join us next time, where we continue to cultivate feminine power, explore potential, and provide information and tools to elevate your life. In the meantime, visit our website at thefemininewave.org or follow us on our YouTube channel at The Feminine Wave to watch other episodes, share what resonated from today's episode, and suggest future topics. Your feedback is imperative in helping reach more women seeking to reclaim their essence. Until then, catch the swell of the feminine wave and continue creating the life you deserve. This is Tara Becker signing off. Take care, and we'll see you on the airwaves.